This episode is brought to you by Bellatoris Publishing, bringing stories to the world that last forever.
Hello and welcome to Faithfully Fantasy,
The husband and wife podcast talking all things Brimstone.
I'm JC.
And I'm Sean.
And today we are finishing our read-along of Brimstone from chapter 44 to chapter 53. And just a heads up, we might use strong language and explore adult themes.
This episode will contain spoilers from Quicksilver, the Kingfisher POV chapters on Callie Hart's website, Brimstone, and snippets of information we've had from Callie Hart herself.
And before we start, quick reminder, if you love our content and want even more, plus early access to episodes, monthly bonus content, and a completely ad-free experience, you can become one of our supporters. You can try it for free now and cancel anytime. For the best deal, visit faithfullyfantasy.com or just subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts for instant access. Don't miss out and unlock the extra content waiting for you.
Also, if you're enjoying the show, please take a second to rate us wherever you're listening. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, all of it. Helps more fantasy lovers find us, and it's one of the easiest ways to support what we do. A quick tap and you've made our day.
So, without further ado, let's dive into...
Wait, what just happened? So, after crossing the Shadow Gate, things get extra dark. Feeders everywhere. No Kingfisher in sight. Seriously, where is he? After seeing off a few feeders, Saeris and crew crash at Telena's friend's place and discover Madra's been siphoning magic like it's free Wi-Fi from her next-door neighbour. To stop her, they need the strongest fays, witches, and something personal, and no, her Netflix password doesn't count. Saeris finds the key and also Tal, who's mourning Zavina, except he felt nothing when she died. Saeris gives him a god sword because she didn't want him to feel left out. Meanwhile, Carrion's making his first speech as the returned king. Saeris prays he won't say something stupid. Spoiler alert, he kinda does. Then Saeris remembers a way to find Fisher, but she needs a hand from Danya for that. Literally, her hand in Saeris' face to knock her out. Saeris goes to the realm of dreams, or nightmares in this case, where she finds Kalish has been overtaken by the rot. She uses her handy-dandy undoing rune to break through the wards, protecting Fisher's bedroom, and an almost toast Fisher. The Hazrax shows up to roast Saeris' deal-making skills, but she's about to make an even bigger mistake by sending the Hazrax away for a whole year. In the nick of time, she remembers the Stargazer, and Adina gives her the information she needs, and she takes a Hazraxi taxi, get it, to the Wicker Woods. Saeris finds Fisher, who is inconveniently being slowly eaten alive by a cursed tree, and after defeating several Fey warriors and making a new Bella Kebab, she frees Fisher by commanding him to fight using his real name, Kaiden Greystar Finvara. Kaiden, the Fey formerly known as Fisher, steps out of the tree to give Belicon a headache, the type that feels like your head is rolling across the floor. But as Terminator once said, he will be back. Onyx sacrifices himself to save Saeris, which actually nearly upped the stakes, but Saeris just brings him back to life. No big deal here, I suppose. We head to the Ajin sky, where we finally meet Ren. Turns out Saeris isn't the only one with Bernie skin tattoos, and he was called home to protect the super creepy gate to the underworld. Fisher and Saeris pass through the gate, and if you thought Omnam Shakrai was a pain, just wait until you meet his mother. Fisher and Saeris are hanging around, literally upside down from the ankles, and just when all seems lost, Fisher reveals the biggest plot twist of the story. Only half-gods can wield shadows. He came for a dragon, as is his birthright, and he orders the red-eyed weirdos to tell his father he came to make a trade.
Well,
we finished!
Yes, we finally finished the book, and I had to confess, I'm so confused.
We have more questions than answered, but don't worry. You can consider us your buddy readers, and we will kind of unpick it and try and help you understand it.
Yes, you're completely right. But now let's go to confirm, cursed, or completely unhinged.
The part of the show where we either get to bank those bragging rights or have a laugh at ourselves for being way too wild with our previous theories. And now I guess that's it. So some of our theories have not been completely denied.
Yes.
So that means that there is the potential for them to continue into the next book.
Yes.
We can talk a little bit about those at the end of the show. And obviously we'll be diving really deep into those in the next episode. But for now, let's go with what was confirmed this week.
So something that we've said from the beginning is that this book is called Brimstone. So we can't see that there won't be any dragons on this book. And yes, in this last chapter, we found out there's a realm full of dragons. So we were right in that one.
Yep.
Other one is the Madra was using Severin as something to give him more power. We're talking about maybe the shape of the city, that maybe she was containing the magic. And that has been confirmed as well in this episode.
Yeah, we said that last week with Foley, or a few weeks ago when Foley explained the shape of the magic. I don't think we can claim that right from the beginning, because we threw out so many theories about why Madra might be all powerful and all immortal. So yeah, I would say that was a fresh one, since Foley's explanation of the wheel being the strongest form of magic.
Other one that we've been talking about is about Fisher coming from a family of demigods. We kind of have a confirmation that he is kind of like a half god. He haven't confirmed, but on the way that everything finished and Fisher was talking about, we can assume that Fisher is a demigod. So that's another one that we were saying that he will be a demigod.
So I had completely forgotten about this, but if you go back to our first ever episode of Quicksilver Deep Dive, that was the theory of the week. The theory was that Kingfisher was a demigod. We mentioned it a few more times through Quicksilver, so there were obviously Easter eggs there.
Yes.
But it's not one, being completely honest, it's not one that I carried forward into Brimstone. I think I did believe it, but we kind of just lost touch with it.
We were more focused on the family tree because the tree.
The granddad, because of the tree and the forge. I still think there's something about this tree.
Yes. I still think that there's a connection there, and I still think that maybe Fisher family was maybe the first god or something, and then being put it out.
Yeah.
Of the gods.
It's one of my questions for later, what is going on with the gods. We get talk of traitor gods, we get underworld gods, we get overworld gods. There's so many different, and then there's the witches gods. So many gods. I feel like this series should be called Gods and Alchemy, not Fae and Alchemy, because it does feel like it's getting a bit insane with all the gods.
Yes.
Okay, the missing Stargazer page. We knew that little thing would come back.
Yes.
And I don't really care about this one that much, but we do get confirmation that Hayden won't be falling for Zavina. And we thought that he might do, but no, she's gone. Rest in peace, Zavina.
What a shame. Womp, 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 womp.
Womp, womp. We also said we would meet Styx. And while we didn't get to meet Styx yet, it does feel like we will get to meet Styx.
Well, it seems that in this last chapter, we went to his realm. So we can assume that maybe the father Fisher is talking about is Styx, because he's the one who rules that place. And he was asking for, his father, the ruler.
So much to unpick. Okay, so shall we start to unpick it?
Okay, let's move on now to screaming, crying, and throwing God's swords.
So how did you feel about Brimstone?
Okay, so now that I finished the book and I can have a proper overview of the whole book, I really enjoyed the story, so I totally would recommend the people to read the book. However, I wouldn't give it 5 stars because there was a couple of things that didn't allow me to fully enjoy the book. So we knew that unfortunately there was some editing problems because this had been confirmed by Kelly Hart herself. So there was a couple of times in the book that you didn't know if there was like editing errors or there was something that maybe it wasn't matching with the plot or with the story.
Like you couldn't really trust it, whether it was plot or
yes,
mistake.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things like this, and we hopefully that maybe in the next book they will have like some explanations at this, like, I don't know if I call it plot holes or...
I think when the paperback comes out, they should fix some of this stuff.
Yes. Also, there was a couple of attempts to eliminating some of the characters, and then nothing happened. Everyone was happy, and everything is like fine. And that what it does, at least to me, for my own opinion, is that takes out like the credibility of the story.
It just lowers the stakes, doesn't it? It just means like if anyone died, they might come back, and
Yeah, so it felt more there was like the author trying to like playing with us, like trying to make us think this when it's not like completely part of the plot or it's not like relevant to the story. It's just like trying to make us feel something. But then again, it's just make you feel that, okay, so nobody's going to die here.
Yeah, and if you compare it to like another massive author at the moment, so if you compare it to the way that Rebecca Yarros does it, she definitely does that. She throws us, she like makes us think that somebody is in real danger and you think they're going to die, and then they don't. And that's happened several times. But the difference is good people do die.
Somebody else died.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting.
Yeah. So there is always the like peril. There was less of it in the latest one. But yeah, with this gives me Twilight vibes where like everything is a bit safe, even though you've got to believe that it's terrifying and that it's the end of the world. But actually, I know that Callie Hart has said she doesn't like making her readers upset. She doesn't like upsetting her readers.
Yes, but if she's not going to do it, then she shouldn't like make us believe that she will do it, because then this is what happened. Then you start to like not believe it, or the story start to lose strength.
Yeah.
What about you?
So, I am still not sure how I'm feeling. So I love the characters. I love the world. I love the magic. I really wasn't ready to leave. And I could read another 700 pages tomorrow. Mm-hmm. But honestly, I did feel like there is too much going on. And I have more questions than answers. And considering we have read every single line several times of not just Quicksilver, but Brimstone, and we've read it slowly this time, I honestly can't fathom how casual readers will have any idea what the fuck happened. Like, it's really, like, there's so much. And I did enjoy it, and I enjoyed it again the second time. And yeah, it's just so much.
Yes.
But this is good, because there's loads for us to talk about.
I mean, this is something that I was saying last week when I was saying that if you ask me where's the plot going, I had no clue. Because, like, the vampires, they were a big part, and then just in one go, boom, all then go. And like, oh, okay. Now what?
And then they go to get the silver from Silvarin, but they didn't need the silver. And there's just so much, like, starts and then doesn't come back and then, just goes. But I am honestly so not just hopeful, like I'm sure that it will all come back in the third book and it will all get tied up really neatly. And yeah.
Yes, I can imagine like maybe Fisher's face after coming back from Silvarin after all of that, experience with Carrion. He goes there to Sanorath, and then he says like, there's a silver bucket right there. Okay, that's weird, but it's there. And then a few minutes later, the vampire's gone. So like,
he's like, oh well, I just went through all of that. At least I came out with a bro. Like, at least me and Karen are now friends. It's all good. We had a hug. It's all fine. Who was your favorite character this week?
So I think maybe for the first time in this read along is Saeris. Yeah,
that surprises me.
Well, she did a lot of stuff in these chapters. So For example, she was leading Fisher's army when he wasn't there. She was like giving all the ideas of what was the plan when everyone was just like fighting each other. Then she was there for Hayden. She was there for Tal, like giving this God soul. She understood everything about what he was going on. Then with Dania, even when she put her on the ground and the mud, she didn't laugh at her because she knew that is not like what a leader does. And obviously, by the end, when she goes to rescue Fisher and all this kind of stuff, for me, it was just like, wow, she did really good here. She was like the main player in this.
You'd hope so, being that she's the main character. That's good. I like that. I like that you, I like that you chose Saeris. Mine is a bit more obvious. Carrion. I think he came into his own. Yeah, because he's always been the clown. This time he wasn't. Apart from he didn't know what to say and he was awkward. And we would all be Carrion in that square when the satyrs are kneeling and expecting him to say something. But the bit that stood out really for me was the fight in Inistar when they go through the gate and all hell breaks loose. And he is fighting and he is doing really well. And Saeris notices it, that actually he didn't know these sword skills before. And that is because he is now determined to protect his realm. He's really, really grown. And I think he's the character that's grown the most. Mm-hmm. I was gutted that we left them there. And I still think like what happened after Saeris left in the square. And I genuinely do expect that he delivered the speech of the century. And when Saeris goes back, like that is, he's like declared war against Bellicon. And I think, one of the 5 books that Callie is hoping to write will be Carrion's, and I can't wait to read it. And I know that everybody picks Carrion as their favourite character, but I've had a bit of a complicated relationship with Carrion through this series, because I feel like he's a clown and that he's just joking around, but he's definitely grown this week. Also, he was theorizing about Madra, and he said, "What? Am I not allowed to theorize?" And I think we should invite him onto our sofa.
He will be perfect for this podcast.
Yeah, he's got no idea what's going on either. So what were the oh my gods moments or key things you wanted to talk about this week?
Yes, so something that was unexpected for me is Savina, that she dies here. And I don't know why, once she was turning to Fae, I thought we might see more of her, and maybe
like
more
a redemption.
Taladeus. Yes, but that didn't happen. It helped Taladeus to maybe grow a little bit more, but that was something that I didn't see coming.
Yeah, and it's funny, isn't it? Because we were like, literally no one dies, but she died. But I think it's the fact that we didn't, like, no one that we care about.
Yeah, it's like the good guys. From the good side, nobody dies. So there's attempts, but then somehow. Miracles.
I was super interested in this story because I was thinking, like, the way that he described it, there was something deeper going on. So I think there's 2 possible options. I think Tal and Zavina were perhaps mated, like in the true sense of the word, because he talked about like him he could not do anything other than follow her. Mm-hmm. And she possibly denied his bond. And then the bond broke when she died. He didn't feel anything once she'd died. I also wondered because I know that they say that love potions don't exist because you can't recreate love, but the like infatuation or the obsession, I wondered whether that could be another, if they weren't mated, that could be another reason for it. And that maybe Malcolm wanted Tal, he had Zavina give Tal some kind of love potion. Mm-hmm. And then he became obsessed and just because Malcolm wanted him in his court, and maybe he thought he was a way to get into Kingfisher.
Yes.
Something was going on there, wasn't it? It wasn't just that Tal really liked her because she's a bitch.
I don't know, because obviously it felt that he is being so obsessed about her for such a long time that he might think that he won't be able to live without her until he saw her dead, and then he felt that actually he's not feeling it at all. So it's all the guilt or all those thoughts about like everything that he did, everything that he go through because of her, and it was just something that it wasn't worth it in the end. It's like he wastes more than 1,000 years for nothing.
Yeah, but I think it was magic. I think the magic died with her. I think that whatever it was, like the bond died with her, the like magic that had him under this spell, died with her, and that's why he didn't feel anything.
Yeah, the coolest part is that he said that he didn't feel anything, but at the same time, he wanted to kill himself as well.
He was going to until the sun, but he wanted to anyway, not because of her. He's wanted to for ages, hasn't he?
Yes.
But then the sun came up. Anything else?
Another thing is Carrion being recognized as the real king for the Satyrs and how they come here to just like pay tribute to him. And of course, the speech that was just
My name is Carrion and I really like your horns.
Yeah.
I thought he was really clever in that he said my name is Carrion. He didn't say my name is Carrion Dianthus.
Yes.
He didn't say Swift, or he just said Carrion. I really like your horns. That was a really weird thing to say.
Yes, but I think somehow he is recognized himself that he is the son of the Dianthus, because the first thing that Loreth said to him, be careful what you say, because when you say it, you can't take it back.
Yeah, but that's why I think
he said like, oh, fuck it then. And
yeah.
Then, hi.
I think
nice to meet you.
I think he's doing because I feel like he's still there. We've left him there, and we will until we read the next book. I think he's delivering the speech of the century.
Yes.
I really do. I think it's going to open. The next book will get more of that. I thought the description of the song was really moving. I actually got tears in my eyes at this point. It said that it's the type of song that you would sing to a family member or a dear friend that you've lost, like a promise that you'll show the love and respect that you can no longer show the person, but you kind of show it to the living person.
Yes.
Who still shares the blood of the friend that you've lost. And that is like very specific, but very, very like raw. I think it's a really moving description of a song. And then we're brought really swiftly back to earth by Loreth the hypocrite, who says that satyrs have a song for everything and that they're too dramatic and flowery, which is a little bit rich coming from him after he's sang the Ballad of the Aegean Gate.
Well, the problem is that he doesn't remember that.
Yeah. Yeah, good point.
So really, he can criticize now.
Yeah, that's so true. So for me, the thing that like that, oh my God's part that I think is going to come back and it's going to be really exciting is the story of the Dryads. So apparently they stood up to one of the northern witch clans. No one really remembers why, and Belicon's like, that doesn't matter, or Orias was like, that doesn't matter. Was it dark magic? Was it the Balkida clan? Was Algat involved? I know this isn't the theory section of the show, but I think that they'll be freed in the next book.
Yeah, I was thinking the same when I was reading this part, that it feels that there's more there.
They were good. They were ultimately good people.
They will be punished for trying to do something right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they were really righteous people. And the witches turned them into flesh-eating trees.
Yes.
Which is really creepy. Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if maybe there will be another, like, potion spell to reverse that magic, and then they will come back to what they were before.
I was never meant to love a human. But then, I saw her. I wasn't supposed to touch that fruit, but I took it, and I ate it. I was the most loyal of angels, until I lost her. Now they call me the devil, and I'll burn heaven itself before I lose her again.
Memoirs of Luzbel, a dark fantasy novel. Book 1 of the Luzbel saga. Now available on Amazon.
This whole part in the woods was really gory. That was quite kind of like, oh my God, for me. And it was really gory. So you had flesh-eating trees. You had Belicon punching a hole literally through Saeris' chest and grabbing hold of her heart. Then you had Saeris ripping the throat of Aureus out with her mouth. Mm-hmm. This bit, and it makes me feel sick thinking about it, but this is going to be really, really interesting when they get to this bit of the TNT on the movie, because it'll be a movie, won't it?
Well, just the beginning of the chapter as well, because now Saeris can see the ghosts as well, and then the stuff that she was saying was just horror as well.
It was horror. It's real horror, isn't it? It was good, though. It was compelling horror. Yes. Well written.
For me, another thing that obviously caught my attention was this new realm of dragons. We thought that there would be maybe in cages, or there will be like confined in this place. But
we did think that the Orithian knights were protecting Avelia from the dragons. Like we did think that the dragons were there and they were being kept, but we didn't know they would be in another realm.
Yes, we thought they would be exactly in the same realm. The dragons that were like there hiding or as a prisoners or something.
Yeah, so Omnam Shakrai was the son of the dragon, the first dragon they encounter when they go through the gate. We don't know why Omnam Shakrai was on the other side of the gate, but it feels like a deal. So there was like a deal done. Maybe somebody had claimed their birthright.
Yes.
And maybe Omnam Shakrai was on the other side, because that originally Omnam Shakrai was protecting the Ajahn Fae. It was only Malcolm that managed to convince them otherwise, probably via his Lord of Midnight, the first one that was the emissary to the realm of the dragons. I have Adina is so linked to that area. So it's Adina of the Two Towers. We know that from Quicksilver because she has a statue in the square of Ballard. Mm-hmm. So that instantly places Adina up in the top, upper Ajahn sky, which means that, and she obviously is linked somehow to Styx because we have the demigod situation.
Yes.
There is an editing error, surprise, surprise, in one of either the Kingfisher POV chapter or the main text of Quicksilver, because in one of the POV chapters, or maybe it's not an editing error at all, one of the POV chapters says he gets his shadows from his mother. Mm-hmm. And then the Quicksilver book says he gets his shadows from his dad. We get confirmation in this book, in the 3 minutes chapter, that the gods gave shadows to Finran. Or to his father. It doesn't say Finran. It's to his father. So what if they both had shadows? What if Adina's the one that's actually it?
Or maybe it's something about the timeline, because we know that Fisher, he doesn't lie. And when we're looking for the Fisher's point of view, most of them are in the past. So maybe he thought they was from his mother, because his dad, Finran, he didn't have shadows. So he thought it has to be from my mom. And then maybe if later on he found out that Styx was his real father, then it's hard to say it was from my dad or my father, Styx.
Yeah, the question is when he says my father, when he's talking about the Graven, when he's doing all that, is he talking about Finran or is he talking about Styx?
Yes.
So many questions. In the 3 minutes chapter, and he's talking to himself, he's not saying this out loud. He can't lie out loud anyway, but he wouldn't lie in his head. Mm-hmm. He says something like, the gods gifted my father the shadows in the hope that he would do something good.
Yes.
Because then that was the point where Fisher was just using them to hold up Saeris' skull. And he was like, I'm sure I'll find other stuff to do with them that is good. But right now I'm just doing this.
Definitely so many things that caught my attention in this run, because obviously Mami Omnan Shakrai, that was first like, oh wow, for me. Also, Styx being the king of the dragons as well. I was like, okay, I thought he was just like all related to shadows, but obviously it's going to be shadows and fire. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Fisher as a half god or demigod here. That was one moment that was like kind of like I knew, but at the same time, I wasn't expecting any kind of confirmation in this book.
Yeah, it's so confusing. So, things we know. Fisher could not lie at least before the Wicker Wood.
Yes.
We don't actually know if Fisher still is oath-bound, because when Saeris undid all the oaths by commanding him under his real name, and then she did use the undoing rune, we don't know if that also undid his oath to the Fire and Stone.
Yeah, they know he can lie if he wants.
Saeris does say in the realm of dragons, she does say he can't lie here. He can't lie. But I wonder if she's just forgetting that could be one of the oaths. So I'm not sure that we can trust. We don't know if we can trust anything that he's saying in the underworld. I'd like to think we can, because then that changes him now to an unreliable MMC. But he does, before that point anyway, so in Quicksilver, he says, "My father's bones rest in Zilfaran." I do think both can be true. So if both were true, if his father is a god and is in fact Styx, he could still call Finran his father. Because it could be that Adina had a son who with Styx, and then was in Zilfaran, and Finran was in love with her and said he would take care of her. Styx wouldn't leave or whatever. I don't know, something happened. But entrusted Finran to look after his son, the demigod. And gave him shadows to protect him, and as a kind of ruse to be like, well, if he's got shadows, then his son's got shadows, to make it a little bit less suspicious. So he could be calling Finran his father legitimately and being like, my father's bones rest in Zilfaran. But even at that point, he didn't know whether his dad is alive or dead in Zilfaran. There's no reason for him to believe that he is not alive. He just, apart from the fact that Madra had Solus and stuck it in the Quicksilver. I mean, I think we should do a full theorizing on this in next week's episode. But at the moment, I am leaning to the fact, and having only read it twice, and not read those, I've read those chapters twice. I've not read it front to back twice, which I will do before next week's episode. I feel like he is a demigod. And that Finran is not his father, but he raised him as if he was.
Yeah.
That's my current leaning. But I'm actually going to listen to Quicksilver and Brimstone. This is ambitious. We're going to listen to Quicksilver and Brimstone over the next week.
Yeah.
And see where that gets me.
So far, I had the feeling that when Fisher went there when he was little, it's more like Styx just kind of adopt him or give him the power to survive in that place.
So you think it's the other way around?
So I think he is Finran's son. So it's Edina and Finran's son. Then when Finran went to Severin, then Belicon took Fisher as his own soldier. He sent it to this place to die, but he survived. I don't know exactly for the people from Nivelia how long he stayed there, because I don't know if there's a time issue or he was just disappear for a couple of days or weeks or whatever, and then he came back.
It was hours, because Belicon was lamenting the loss of his son, and then out he popped.
I don't know if the time is going to be exactly the same in both realms. That maybe, yes, for Fisher it was a couple of hours or he stayed there longer, but in the way that he's speaking, you feel that he was living there for longer than a couple of hours. No,
he was tortured. The dragon said that he was tortured there the last time.
Yeah, that he came back to set revenge against the dragons.
Yeah, I don't feel like he was there a long time. But I think it's interesting because we both have different views, so we need to come back next week having a real answer on it, because I think if Finran and Adina were if Finran was his real father, assuming that they're different people, because it could be the same. Could be that Styx and Finran are the same.
Yeah.
He just didn't know, and why that means. Why would he have said his father's bones rest in Silvarin? But again, like, can we really trust? Can we really trust it? Is it something that just wasn't thought about? Then why would Finran also have shadow power? It's like super confusing.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Let's try and get to the bottom of this. If anyone can come up with like 6 or 7 theories on why it would be us. Yeah, all of the above. Like, they were my oh my gods moments as well. It was a really good bunch of chapters. There was just so much going on. Anything that you were struggling with?
Yes, I was struggling with Saeris' attitude against the Hazraks, because I honestly think the Hazrak has been more useful than Taladeus for Saeris.
Tal was a terrorist.
Yes, and however, Saeris she treats Taladeus as a friend, and the Hazrak given all this immense power. Is constantly like helping her to do this, to do that. And she is just like, she not get it.
She's so rude, yeah.
Yeah, so in this last part, he was trying to like be helpful, but she was just like not taking it, and then she was just like wishing for him to disappear for the 4 years.
We said this last week as well, like, she's really rude to the Hazraks.
Yes, so that was like really annoying. Like, come on, he's obviously he's trying to help you here.
Yeah.
Like, why is your thing against him? But yeah, that was one thing. Also, Fisher's name, when Sarah started calling Kaiden, I was like, wait, who is that one? Like, oh yeah, Fisher's name. So I was like a little bit like disconnected. Like, I was expecting Fisher. And then when she goes through the end of this chapter, just calling Kaiden or K, I was like, okay. So now I had to just like put it in.
Yeah.
Okay, that's his name now.
When somebody introduces themselves to you as a name, and then you find out they prefer a different name, it is so hard to retrain your brain. I worked with someone who introduced themselves to me as Michael. And then all of a sudden, everyone was calling them Mike. And I was like, Mike. They want to be called Mike. They want to be called Mike. And I had to retrain myself because I'd learned the name Michael, and I found it really, really hard. I do it now. It's all fine.
Yeah.
But I thought this was a super interesting choice from Callie Hart to make this change so late on. It would have been so easy to just go down the he will always be Kingfisher to me route with Saeris. And I just can't see it sticking with fans. Can you? Because everyone I've spoken to is like, nope, he's called Kingfisher. And it's basically that they've written off the name Kai. I also think, because there's another very popular romantasy series with the main male character. His name is Kai. Kai Azza is his name. And yeah, I kept thinking of that when I read the word Kai.
Yeah.
Or the name Kai. I kept thinking of that. And for me, he'll be Kingfisher. So yeah, it's super interesting choice.
Yes. And I wonder how it's going to be for Fisher as well, because I remember in my case, when I was working with my colleagues, I introduced myself as a Juan Ramirez. And then when we married, they found out that everyone, like closest friend and family, they called me JC. And they're like, oh, they called you like that? Okay, we're going to start calling you like that. And then for me, it was super
really
weird when they start calling me like, hey, JC, or like, what?
Are you talking to me? Oh, the same as everyone else.
Yeah, it felt so funny, even when I knew that, like, you from the beginning called me JC, like your family or friend, like really close. And then when they started calling me like that, it took me a while.
If I start calling you Juan Carlos now, would that be weird?
Yeah, it would be the same.
He also struggled. So I think he said his own name, didn't he? He said Kingfisher. Or he started to say it. And then,
like, no, wait.
Yeah, wait. That's not my name now. Yeah, super interesting choice.
Yes.
We'll see how it goes in book 3.
What about anything else you've been struggling with?
Yeah, more inconsistencies. And I think at this point, I might just be being nitpicky. And I'm sorry if it's bugging people. But the floodgates opened. Things like Hayden passing out the second time he went through the shadow gate. And then he needed to go somewhere, but he just passed out. When we know that the law is like you go through once and you pass out. But the second time is fine. And then you're just fine. It's only the first time. But he went through the first time and passed out. And then when he got to Inishtar, they were saying, the first time, Ren laid me down the first time I went through a shadow gate. And I'm like, well, that wasn't the first time. And it's so silly that I'm getting bugged by stuff like this. I think it's because I've been doing some beta reading, and it's literally my job to find, in a beta read, to find these like inconsistencies to help the author out. And they're just like, I obviously just need to get out of that. But things like the forge in a star being destroyed and it being a big deal because she couldn't make the relics or any god swords or anything. But then she doesn't need a forge anymore, does she? She just wills it and it happens.
Yes.
She needs the quicksilver, and I know that she has to take it from her own sword, but it just like feels a little bit strange. The sun came up a few times and Saeris was absolutely fine. Like she held Taladeus' hand and she would have needed to take her hand out of her robe. This is so silly, I'm sorry. I hate myself for even saying this stuff.
There's no reference about she having like a glove, so completely covering the
Don't
face.
know, but the whole point was that Tal wanted the warmth on his face and she was sat there and not, like, she's still a vampire. And maybe this is me. Maybe this is something that I don't fully understand. But the Quicksilver pool being the one where Kingfisher was infected and it all went in, because that was the one that Bellicon forced Kingfisher through. And that ties up what was supposed to be an inconsistency in Quicksilver when everyone was like, oh, the Quicksilver was closed. How did he go through the Quicksilver? Well, this is how. But then they're quite adamant that that's not Quicksilver and it's black and it like... Yeah, it's all very strange. And then I've got a couple of other things, like Saeris literally being able to do anything with runes. Like she can bring things back from the dead. She can only do that once. And like, there just seems to be a rune solution to everything, which I know that you always think your female main character or your main male character or whatever, you always know they're going to make it through. So you don't feel like they're ever in real jeopardy, but you kind of always like, well, she'll just solve it because the magic. And yeah, I'm going to town now. I really do enjoy these books. It sounds like I don't. And then Saeris just doesn't seem to be learning that she needs to pay attention to the fine print in deals. Like, even the Hazrak says, you really are hopeless at this, aren't you, child? I almost feel bad for you. And I think at this point it's just becoming like, Saeris will get herself into another bad deal.
Yeah.
Maybe the character growth will come in the next book and she just won't make a bad deal.
Well, I'm hoping there will come the time that she will be the one making a deal. They look so bad, but it's so clever. There's going to be like her redemption.
Yeah, I like that. That would be good.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
Oh, yeah, so many. So, first one, because I remember that maybe it was in the previous episode that we were not like clear about what happened, because you were saying the Fisher went inside and then he just went out the shadow gate just to be in front of Bellicon. And I was thinking that he was about to go in and then he was like interested by Bellicon, that he was maybe behind him or something. But now reading this chapter, it seems that yes, he went behind Foley, so they crossed the shadow gate. But Fisher went through
the Wicker Woods.
Yes, we was intercepted by Bellicon. So I just wonder, is it Bellicon doing that, or maybe it's Madra from her own realm, just like pulling all the strings?
Yeah, I didn't think about this, but I do actually think it could be Madra. I think you could be right, because she can do portals to anywhere, can't she?
Yes, and how she knows where they want to send like their feeders and that kind of stuff. She has to have like a connection, so she can have like a vision of what's going on in that realm.
Yeah, I like that.
Other question that I had referring to Bellicon as well, is that at the beginning we thought that he was the one who was behind all the murders for the alchemist. But here he's saying to Saeris, oh, that's what they told you. So he wasn't the responsible of all of that. So again, who is in charge of that?
Madra's the criminal mastermind, isn't she?
Yes. So I was thinking that maybe Madra was the one who started killing all the alchemists, and Bellicon and Malcolm, they were just like trying to stop her or something, and they couldn't manage. Also, another question, and it's again with Bellicon. All the questions about Bellicon. So by the end of this chapter between Fisher, Kaiden, and Bellicon,
Call him Fisher.
yeah, that's going to be one of the things that are really going to be struggling.
You don't have to. Just call him Kingfisher. I will.
Yeah.
I think everyone will.
Fisher, because the head of Bellicon, the head just rolls away.
Casually.
And he said that this won't stop her, this won't kill him. So why we think that when Sarah did the same with Malcolm and this head and the body started to just like burn into blue flames, that was the end of Malcolm? Because I'm thinking right now, either that was an illusion that Malcolm did, or there was a favor that Malcolm asked to the Hasrak, like make a copy of myself and send it against Saeris. And then when the copy was there, the copy would just disappeared.
So there's two things, I think. Like, that is like maybe how you kill a vampire. But because Bellicon saw that ended Malcolm, he was like, right, I need some dark magic that is going to mean that
it's going to keep me in one piece.
Yeah. We know that chopping off her head, actually, earlier on in the book, that guy gets his hand chopped off and it grows back really tiny. But isn't there a thing where they said, oh, chop your head off and it will grow back really tiny?
I don't think they mention anything about the head.
Oh, okay.
It's just like part of the body.
Yeah.
But if they chop the head, why the head can grow a tiny body? You had to maybe go for the brain.
That is so funny. Well, it depends where the regeneration is. Is it in your heart? Is it in your stomach? Or is it in your brain? It depends. Then there'd be two. There'd be a massive head with a tiny body and a massive body with a tiny head. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah.
I have questions about Bellicon as well.
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't that iron kill him? He seemed really worried about Nimmerel when Saeris was doing her big victory speech. And then we know that Ren nearly died from a tiny scratch from an iron-tipped arrow. Fisher knows more about the dark magic inside Bellicon. We'll find out in the next book, because he's definitely not dead, is he?
No, he's coming back, which means that in the next book, probably the three of them, they're going to come back together and we'll see them reunited.
Well, they did say, if you want to kill one of us, you have to kill all of us.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be fake news.
No, Caligard said, well, I told you from the first one.
Yeah, exactly.
Another thing that obviously caught my attention here, Onyx. So, in the first chapters, that little fox caused Kingfisher Helling's magic power. So, he has to use it to save the life of the fox. And then here, by the end of the book, Sarah has to use the room that the Hasra gave her to undo everything. She had to basically sacrifice that room to bring back the fox. So I was just thinking, gosh, this fox has been really expensive in this book because it costs so much magic to the main characters. So it has to be in the next book, he has to be something so powerful.
Adina.
Well, there's a part when the Hasrax was asking to Fisher, you going to let her to do this, wasting the room for just bring this fox back to life. And he said that it's not a fox, it's a family. So that's kind of a second meaning as well there.
Yeah. Questions from me. If Madra was siphoning the power, why was she stopping some of the wards from having children? Is it because the thirds have the least magic? There would be a population crunch at some point and she would have access to less power.
It seems that everything is all related to maybe alchemist, because that was like one of the things that she was more scared about. So she was just maybe controlling how much people she can have.
So are there more alchemists in the third? Is that what you suspect?
Yes. Also, she might have like, the China had this problem as well. For years, they had to just make mandatory how many children the population can have, and now they had a massive problem because of that.
Well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so maybe...
And it's not even one child per family. This is like 1 in 10. Only 1 in 10 have children.
So maybe she haven't been in that point yet when she need to start to like, okay, now I need more people.
She's going to need to, otherwise she's going to have a population crunch.
Yes.
And she's going to have a seriously aging population.
True.
Are the fire sprites okay? We predicted, and this should go in the top section because we got it wrong. I thought that the rot would surround Karlish but not overtake Karlish because of the brimstone in the ground underneath. But Karlish was totally overrun with rot. So where's Archer?
Well, they are in the bottom, so probably the bottom is still just fine because the root can go inside, gets burned.
Well, I hope so. But my question is, are the fire sprites okay?
Yeah.
Still super intrigued by the Null Blades. The warriors, Belicon's warriors in the Wickerwood had the Null Blades, and it described them as the unnatural weapons felt like blind spots in my vision, black holes sucking at my energy and the magic of the woods itself. And then the other question is, what did Adina mean when she told Saeris to tell Belicon never? Is it like, what did he say he would do? Is it like, I will never love you, you will never have my son, you will never be like all powerful? Or what is the never? What was she saying?
Yeah, has to be something maybe like the last bit that he says to her before kill her. And that was like the main reason.
Yeah.
And then she is just like telling again that even after being dead, he will never get whatever he wants.
Yeah, because he was scared, wasn't he? Yeah. I love that. I can't wait.
Yeah, because remember that he was saying that he has to kill her because she was like talking nonsense. So that it was like he didn't believe her. So I wonder why it was.
Yeah. And my last question is, what is up with the gods? Like, we had the traitor gods. Nimmerel is one of the forgotten blades of the ancestors. What is going on with the gods? I'm going to go back and read all the gods bits as well and work out for next week what's going on there.
Yeah, definitely feel there's maybe like another generation of gods right now that we have, and there was a previous one. And that's why I still thinking that maybe those previous one has to be something related to Fisher's family. And that tree.
And the tree in the forge.
It's like one of the maybe remains from that.
I agree. Let's go to the Oracle's notebook. This is the part of the show where we channel our inner eye as Mummy Kingfisher would and put our Oracle skills to the test in the hope that we get at least something right for the next book.
My first theory is that Carrion is half witch.
Yep.
And this is all because in this part when the Satyrs arrived to looking for the returned king, they were looking for him, and it was like pretty obvious that he was the only ginger one. And the other one they pointed out, it was Ishabel. They were like the two only ginger ones from there, and Ishabel, she is a witch.
Yeah, there's other things as well, like the whole thing with the cure and the fact that the Dianthus blood was, and the witches found the cure and it was the Dianthus blood.
Yeah, that's what I made the Dianthus so special.
Yeah. Something else about Carrion. I am now more convinced than ever that Carrion can read minds. There is a part when they're at the cliffs and they're going to get the hair from the Zilvaran feeder guardian's body. And she's thinking about Fisher and she's starting to worry. And then she says, as if he knew precisely what I was thinking. He then said, we'll find
He'll be
him.
fine,
Yeah, he'll be
yeah.
fine. Also, we know that at least one witch can read minds, and that is Algat, which is just another tie to the fact that Carrion could potentially be half witch.
Yes, totally agree with that as well. Also, we're still convinced that Onyx is part of the family. So, and I'm not sure if it's going to be Finran or it's going to be Edina,
It's Adina.
but definitely it's going to be something really close to Fisher. So many clues there's pointing out there's going to be one of his parents there.
Yeah. Obviously, I've been convinced that Adina's soul has been inside Onyx since, well, right at the beginning. I think since Ballard.
Yeah.
Salt. Let's talk about salt. So she can smell it in the ocean. We wonder if the next book is going to be called Salt, because we have the 3 runes. We have Quicksilver, Brimstone, and Salt. It would be weird, wouldn't it, if it was called something other than Salt?
Mm-hmm. Plus,
but it might be weird.
Three books for this saga, because the next one is going to be something different.
Yeah. And the fact that she can smell it on the ocean and it calls it out and it jumped out on the page to me. I wonder if the next book will be more set on the sea. So we've heard about pirates. We've heard about the islands of Lycia. I wonder if water will be a key part and whether she will be able to control the water.
Yeah, I think maybe in
sea.
the next book, Taladeos is going back to Lycia. And maybe for some reason, Saeris official goes there as well. And then we'll see these pirates that we're like hearing all the time and more stuff.
So we've talked about Madra a little bit. I really genuinely think that Callie Hart is setting Madra up to be the final boss. There's a part which says that the fact that she can open portals up everywhere makes her even more dangerous to the people of Avelia than Belicon.
Yeah. There was a part, I remember reading Quicksilver, that I wasn't sure how it's possible the Madra was like reuniting with them, where most of the time the Quicksilver was close. And obviously, because now we know that she can travel by her own portals. So definitely she is the one with more power from those 3.
Yeah, I think there'll be a big showdown in the next book.
Between Saeris and Madra, I think it's going to be Saeris, the one who will kill Madra.
Yeah, I just think Carrion will kill Belicon, because that's his,
Right.
his arc, isn't it? Right, the Hazrax.
Mm-hmm.
The Hazrax says, I have a hand in everything, but you will learn that soon enough, I suspect. That comes back again to me either thinking that the Hazrax is one of the fates or death itself. Also, talking of, I noticed this week, in this week's chapters, Callie Hart uses he as a pronoun instead of it for the Hazrax.
Yes. I wonder if it's relevant or just, again, a mistake.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the problem.
Yeah. I think that I was wondering about it being death because it asked a question, didn't it? And it was like, what does it feel to lose something? It witnessed it, but it doesn't know how to feel.
It will make sense if it's the dead itself, because the rune that it gave it to Saeris, it was able to undo that.
Yeah, but the Hazrax didn't believe that was possible.
Well, he didn't believe, or it didn't believe, that Saeris had the power.
I think you can say he now, considering it is on the page. We've been trying to correct ourselves the whole time, but no.
Yes, that's another thing I'm struggling with.
So many more theories, but I can't wait to string them all together next week, because that is what next week will be about. So sticking with the theme of precognition, let's just take a quick look at what we're going to be doing next week. So we're going to be doing a bit of a therapy session. We're going to be talking about how we're feeling. We're going to be talking about the big things that we need to help to get over, and that we're going to have such a long wait for the next book. How are we going to get from now to then? So we're going to give you a few suggestions of what you might want to read if you're looking for something to fill the gap between now and the next book, but also just some coping mechanisms.
Yes, that's going to be really interesting. Once we can maybe again read the whole book in one go and then come with maybe more theories or more details about the theories that we have now.
It'll be interesting to lock in our theories as they are now, just having read it. And then obviously we'll come back to them before the next book is out. Shall we do the final questions from the Quicksilver?
Okay, what we have for today?
So this is the part of the show where we listen hard to the ethereal whispers of the Quicksilver for the last time and dig deep into our souls for the answer. So last week, we asked if you have to choose between dying as a human at an old age or being reborn as a human that can live thousands of years in different circumstances, what would you choose?
Honestly, if you ask me this question, like maybe, 12 years ago, I will go for, be reborn and live for thousands of years. But now at this point, I will stay as I am. So I will live just what I had to live as a human. I won't live for thousands of years.
Okay.
What about you? What will you choose?
I would just choose the one life because you don't know what's next. And like, what if there's something also some adventure beyond? I do tend to think that we will be like, you return, like you can't create or destroy energy, it just shifts. So the energy like goes somewhere else. So I think I believe in some form of reincarnation anyway. I wouldn't bet my life on it, obviously, but I think I would just have the one life, just in case there's another great adventure. Although this one's pretty good. I'm quite happy with this one. Okay. Well, that's the last questions from the Quicksilver for this season. And when we announce the next book, we'll have to think of a new title for that section.
Yes. Well, really, we had to change a lot of things because it has to be customized for the book. So we'll be sharing everything on social media, of course.
And that's all we've got time for this week. So don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at FaithfullyFantasyPod. Come and join the conversation. We'd love to hear if you've been reading along and what you thought now that we finished. So if you've got thoughts, send them our way. Don't worry about spoilers for us now. It's all good.
Yeah, we are done. And with this, we had just one more thing to say. Thank you for listening to Faithfully Fantasy,
the husband and wife podcast talking all things Brimstone.
We'll see you next week for our group therapy and theories episode. And of course, for more Faithfully Fantasy.
Bye!